Mendicant's bias. Why Halo Infinite isn't as bad as we think, it's just average. And that's the problem because of our bias. That's the premise of this video. I just use Mendicant's bias because it's a badass name. I love in Halo how all the precursor and like Forerunner, Tech, or ancient AIs have these amazing names. So I like that, Mendicant's bias. And it relates to Halo Infinite and my position on it, my reconsideration that it's not that bad of a game, it's just average. And that makes it bad because of how spoiled we were and the bias we have against it from playing peak Halo games that Bungie made. Basically, Bungie set the bar so high that anything 343 makes, like 343, I don't know, they have to put their soul into it or something to actually match any of the Bungie Halo games, which is probably difficult and almost impossible for a company like this to do, because they're just handed the mantle of responsibility. And so yeah, Mendicant's bias. Mendicant's bias. Just say that. Just all the Forerunner precursor names. It's just fun to say. Mendicant's bias. And we're all begging for this knowledge, and we're all begging for better content from Halo Infinite, but it just didn't come. It's just a bad game compared to the Bungie stuff, and I trashed it pretty hard. But one of my problems is if I get any disagreement with my position, I always reconsider, I always think about it, and I did think about it, and I realized, like, yeah, it isn't a bad game, it's just average. I was just being too harsh on it because it's something I love, something I grew up with. I was in high school when Halo 2 and Halo 3 came out, so that was peak gaming, right? That was like the face of Xbox. You would think the face of Xbox would get like better treatment, I don't know, but it really is like the mantle of responsibility in terms of Xbox. Like that's what you think of when you think of Xbox. You see the green Xbox logo. It's like, oh, green guy from Fortnite. That's Master Chief. That's all I think about. What else do I think about when I think about Xbox? I think about Halo and Forza. And what else do I think about when I think of Xbox? That's pretty much it. Yeah, just Halo and Forza. Really, is that it? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was a large responsibility that I don't think 343 can never live up to the Bungie games. So it was just, they weren't gonna win. Like it's almost impossible for them to achieve a game at the same level as those Bungie games that were peak gaming, peak cinema, okay? And yeah, so here's where my bias comes in. That bias is just that I'm getting older, right? I'm getting older, and I played a lot of games. I consume lots of media. Now, I wish we had that ability from Watch Dogs, that hacker game, or Cyberpunk 2077, where when you look at someone, you can scan them and you can see like what they do, but instead, in my version, you can see all the media they've consumed, all the games they've played, to get a better understanding or rather just see if their argument has any validity or not. Like, if someone comes to me and says, Halo Infinite's the best game ever, and it's I don't say that. It's some person, and I scan them, and I see, like, that's the only games they've played. They've only played Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, right? Then I'd be like, huh. Alright, you say Halo Infinite's the best game ever, but you've only played, like, several other games, and from the Halo series, you've only played Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. So, in cases like that, your argument is just null. It's just... But I think that's the issue. This is like I'm going to go on the rant here. This is like an overreaching issue with the internet in general. People can say anything. I don't want to be mean and say people shouldn't have opinions sometimes, but that's the thing. Like, people think their opinion... It's not that they think their opinion is important and they need to put it out there on the internet, and we're questioning why they would do that. Like, these videos, why am I even making a YouTube video on this, right? So it's good to be on the internet and be able to, like, share your opinions, right? But there's some people who take it too far and just are, I don't know, they say things even though they're not experts on the issues. Like me, I always admit, like, I'm dumb, okay? I feel like I'm of average intelligence. I'm an American idiot. I eat hamburgers. That's affected my brain development or something. I have microplastics in my... Okay. And it's just... I always admit, like, sometimes I don't know all the information. So I'll come back and be like, yeah, I've reconsidered. I've thought about it. Yeah, you have a good point. If people disagree with me, I'm like, yeah, now that I think about it and the way you put it, that makes sense. Stuff like that. I'm always... It's a problem for me too in life, because in this life, most people that succeed aren't these people that are always reconsidering, like, other people's positions. They're people that are just confident and go, like, are headstrong and just go with their ideas, whatever it is. Be like, this is right. All you other people, fuck you, you know? Like, those are the type of people that are most likely to succeed in this world. And I'm not that. I'm like the opposite. I'm always, like, changing my stance just because someone disagrees with me. And someone did comment, like, Halo Infinite's actually solid or something. My last video where I trashed Halo Infinite. So that's my problem. Like, I see that, I'm like, let me actually think about this. And, like, yeah, it is average, honestly. It's not bad, it's just average. But in terms of the media I've consumed and the games I've played, it is one of the worst games, like, relative to what I've experienced. Right? So yeah, I wish we could scan people and see what they've read, the media they've consumed, the video games they've played, the movies they've seen, and then everything would make sense, I think. Especially online. Like, all these people just being too headstrong and egotistical and saying, like, oh yeah, I know what this theoretical physics problem solution is. Or like, this is how we should run society, or this is how we should do this. And it's good to share those opinions. It's just that there's some people, the way they do it is so, like, brash and aggressive and, like, self-righteous. And then when you look at what degrees they have or any experience they actually have, they're just, like, some entry-level position and they have no education or secondary education. And it's like, all right, so you're saying you know everything about this subject, yet you didn't actually do any, like, and I know school doesn't necessarily mean that you're an expert, or not an expert. How do I say this? You can learn things outside of school. You can be kind of an expert outside of school, but school, a lot of people trash college and university, and I do the same sometimes, because right now in the US, yeah, it's horrible. Like, it's ruining people's lives. Like, the kids being told they have to go to college, and no matter what, so they take out loans to do so, and now they're screwed for life if they mess up or something, or if they realize, like, oh, this job market is so full, I forgot the word for it, saturated, and how I can't get a job, so I have to get like a low-wage job, and now I'm stuck here for life, paying this thing for my life, and I could have used that money to instead get a mortgage, which I have to be stuck paying for a life, but then I would actually have a house, you know? So it's like, school is really ruining some people's lives right now, and that shouldn't be the case, which is sad. But what I'm saying is, I'm getting way off subject. What I'm saying is, you can be an expert outside of school, but school kind of, it's kind of proof that you're actually an expert. That's all it is, right? That's all degrees are, like proof that you actually went through this bullshit. And like any doctorate degrees or PhDs or like projects you do or internships, it's proof that you are this person that's headed towards having more knowledge than the regular man or regular person. I don't know why I said man. That was weird. That was the regular human. You freaking humans. I was saying Healy warrior. War. Freaking humans. Where am I going with this? Oh, so yeah, so I just wish you could scan people and see what games they've actually played, and then so we could consider their opinion if it has any validity or not. Because someone who just plays like 2 Halo games, like Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, and then they come in here like, oh, Halo Infinite's the best game ever. I'm like, that'd be like, shut up. I mean, it's good. It's okay that you like Halo Infinite. It's just that you didn't play anything else. You're ignorant. That's the thing. It's not a bad thing to be ignorant. Well, it is, but people are just ignorant of things, and it's not their fault. Like me, I'm ignorant in a lot of things. We all are ignorant in a lot of things. And if you don't agree to that, then you're an egotistical, self-righteous asshole. But like, yeah, all of us, and I always try to, in all these videos, I try to explain that, like, these are my limitations. Like, I don't know too much about certain subjects, but here's my opinion on it, because it might be entertaining or interesting to someone that is ignorant to even the basic concepts of that subject. But yeah, if you're out here running around saying Halo Infinite's the best game ever, you have to consider like what you've played too, you know, like, and that's where the bias thing comes in. The bias thing comes in with me because I've played all these amazing games. I grew up with these peak games, Halo 2, Halo 3. In middle school, I was playing Halo 1. And like it had split screens, so I was playing on Legendary with my older brother. Like we would play Halo 1 and beat the campaign mode. And Halo 2, the introduction of like multiplayer online and like all this cool stuff, and it was actually fun. And because that was peak, that was top gaming at the time. Like, Halo was a huge deal. And because of that, alright, other than that, like Halo being a huge deal, like all these other games we played, they were like top tier. Like, this is combined with survivorship bias, right? Like, people remember like the best times of their youth, you know? Kind of like boomers. You'll see this in like old people. They're like, oh, back in my day, things were so great, and we had the best music, and everyone was perfect. And it's like, no, it's because you're just remembering. You don't remember bad songs, you know? Like, even now, like, you don't memorize, oh, this was such a bad song, I remember this from the past. It's like, no, you remember the good songs, right? You remember the good games. I'm not gonna remember freaking... I can't think of it right now. But you guys know what I'm saying. It's kind of like a survivorship bias thing, where you're not gonna bring up like how in the 1960s or before that, when you say like, oh, the families were perfect and we actually had like a nice household, and we had house and the mother and father and 2 kids and white picket fence. And you don't mention though that like some people were treated horribly and were like excluded from this American dream thing just because they look different and had different ideas and stuff. And people got away with like horrible... And when you think about like just like serial killers or murderers, like just think of all the stuff, bad stuff people got away with in the past. But people are out here being like, oh, the 1950s were so great and everyone was happy, and like all this cool music came out and then all this good stuff. It's like, that's the bias. So I don't know why I'm talking about all this. That's just the bias that I'm trying to tell you guys about. It's like a bias that for us older people, older gamers, we played the top games. We played the best games. So, of course, when we see Halo Infinite come out and it's average, to us, that average is so bad. It's so horrible. It's such a shit game compared to the best that we've already played, right? So if you scan us, you'll see like a huge list of all the best games and all this media consumed on Halo. And then, I'm sorry, but those opinions of those people matter more. And a lot of times, sometimes, it's not always 100%, but most of the time, like people that consume more media and like more of these games kind of know better than you if you've only played like several games. So that's one thing. I just wish we could scan people and see what they actually know. Other thing is, yeah, so that's the bias for me. So I've reached UNC status, basically. Like I said, I played Halo 1 in middle school. I played Halo 2 and Halo 3 in high school. So all these peak Bungie Halos came out when I was growing up. And then the 343 games came out. Like, I was still excited because I'm kind of like a bit more above a casual gamer. So I'm not super into it, but I am. That doesn't make sense, but so I was still like kind of hyped for the 343 Halos, right? Halo 4, like I did kind of have fun playing the multiplayer. Like I didn't mind it. Halo 5, the same thing. Like it's like, all right, it's getting like weird, but I still kind of like it. Because they had Warzone. Warzone was amazing in Halo 5, the concept of it. Like, you had the Covenant. That's the big thing with Halo, right? Halo 1 was so amazing because they had multiple factions fighting against each other while you're trying to get through the area, and it actually feels intense. And I feel like that's the thing that was missing. They didn't make it feel like, even if it's just the UNSC against the brute army or the banished in Halo Infinite, it still doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like you're seeing like battles play. It's only when you go to sections and the UNSC Marines are like asking for your help and like, oh, you gotta save those Marines, and so you go up there, and then that's when you only see like the Marines fighting Covenant. But I wish it was like a larger scale of that. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that's the bias that I've probably reiterated multiple times throughout this video thus far. It's just that we played the best games already. So to us, Halo Infinite is absolute shit. Like, you can't get around that, like, admitting that. But I could see how people who were this is their first Halo, or they've only played like the 343 Halos, I could understand why they think like, this game's so amazing and it's a good Halo or something. It's because you don't know any better. That's the issue. You don't know any better. But again, my bias. So with my bias, I've reconsidered. I've tried to take that away. And I'm looking at it. I'm looking at Halo Infinite. The campaign is great. Yeah, the campaign is good in Halo Infinite. The sandbox thing is just a nitpick by me. Like, the environment, you know, like compared to Halo 1, all these different environments they had, it's just kind of disappointing when you go to Halo Infinite and it's just the forest area with these ugly pillars and mountains, and then just the brute ships, and that's all you play in. That's all it is in the campaign. And other than that, I agree the Halo Infinite campaign was pretty amazing. Like, it is fun. It could be better though, and it would have been better with some DLC, but it's fine. It's good. All right, I admit it. The campaign in Halo Infinite was good. There's at least rain or snow or something, or some other area you go to. That's why I think I prefer linear campaign, like a more linear, like traditional how the Halos were before, because it's not boring that way. That's a boring part about these sandboxes. I think they do it on purpose too, because it takes you forever to go fucking places, so you spend more time in the game because of that. But that's just some conspiracy thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, I think I prefer a single player campaign, or with multiplayer split screen to be linear. I would rather it be linear than the huge sandbox that you're like, oh, look at how big this sandbox is, and look at all these places. And it's just like a forest area, that's it, with these ugly ass silver pillars around. And it's like, oh, cool. But again, the campaign in Halo Infinite, amazing, because it's like you see all the Covenant, or not the Covenant, they're the banished, but they have like the elites that they have and the grunts on their side, and the jackals and all these other aliens too, and that's cool. Some of the things, it's still kind of boring. Like, some of the events are like on rails, like the drop ships. Well, they were on Rails too for Halo 1, but still seem more fun. I don't know. It's still fun. Okay, that's it. Halo Infinite campaign is fun. All right? So the multiplayer, it's average. It's free to play, so you can play it for free if you have an Xbox Live account. Or you could just create that Microsoft account for free, and then you can get the Halo Infinite multiplayer. All right? So it's free. All right? So, yeah, it's a bad multiplayer Halo game, but it's free. So that automatically makes it like average, because yeah, it's a shit multiplayer game, but it's free. Or a shit Halo game. There's my bias again. Okay, after keep reiterating that, like, it's not actually shit, it's just average, but to people like me who've played all these amazing games already before, it is shit. Okay, so yeah, it's free to play, so it definitely meets its value of being free. Like, imagine if we had to pay for multiplayer. So many refunds. I would see so many refunds. There's so many people like actually getting angry over it. It'd be like a horrible situation, even more so than we have now with 343. If the multiplayer actually cost money. But yeah, they tried making a live service. And failed at that. Like, you'd think if you wanted to make money, you'd actually put more effort into things you make people buy in the game. But no, it's like so boring. There's nothing interesting in the multiplayer. Okay, maybe that's my bias. Let me rethink again. So yeah, average game, average multiplayer. My bias is making me say it's shit, because compared to what I've played before, that's what it is. But with that taken away, it is an average game. It's free to play, so that's cool. I think, what's good about it? What do I like about it? Like, I did play it for 1,000+ hours on Steam. So it's not like I just didn't play Halo Infinite. I beat the campaign. I played multiplayer 1,000+ hours on Steam. Alright? And it's just not memorable. Like, I'm trying to think anything good about it. The Forge mode, I guess, but no one's using that now because no one's playing the game. I could see, like, if you had friends that played Halo, like in high school, you guys can be like, oh, let's go on Forge and play these cool games together. And there's like a cool mode I played, it's like the Hunger Games mode, or like a Battle Royale. That was cool. But again, like, the actual playlist where there's an actual population where people are supposed to be like playing those official 343 playlists, it's just like not fun. Damn. It's just not fun to play. It's like a cash grab, honestly. It's just. But again, if you enjoy it, good for you. Bless your soul. But I just want to see what other games you played in the past. Okay, that's all I want to see. I want to see the list of stuff you played, like what media you've consumed. Like, if you enjoy the Halo TV show, That's a big red flag if you did. Okay. So yeah, what else? That's my bias. Alright. The Mendicant's bias. So I'm trying to think, why else would I have a bias against this game? Bungie, well, it's just because they made good games that were fun. Or was it just because I was younger? See, maybe, yeah, I really think it is like an age thing. I could see if I was younger, because if you're younger, you're undeniably dumber, man. You can't, I hate people that try to deny that. Like that, you're at the level of wisdom or intelligence of someone that's actually had all these experiences and played so much more games and so much more stuff and consumed so much more media, and you're gonna come out here like, oh yeah, I know better than you, I played Halo 5. It's like, okay. And yeah, I was dumb too when a teenager. Anything I criticize other people for, like, I'm included in that. I was a teenager, I was younger. So, like I was saying, if I were younger, I could see how, like, because when I was younger too, like, I couldn't afford anything. Like, all the consoles I had were my older brother's. So that's the only reason I played Halo, because it was my brother's Xbox. My brother got the 360. Wait, did he? Or was it me? No, I think it was just his Xbox. After that, I kind of stopped playing games that much. I think he had a 360. Did he? I can't remember. I remember like all the consoles and PCs mostly that we had. We only had one family computer, honestly. It was slow as shit. But all the other consoles were my brother's. So I didn't really have a say in anything we got. But he usually got like the best titles for those consoles. You know, all the most important games or the most fun games. So we played Halo 1. And then he had Halo 2 and Halo 3. And since I was young, I didn't have anything. And it was just this, like, oh, Halo, Xbox, can I play Xbox? Do you have any games on your Xbox? To me, it was amazing. So I could see if I were younger now, and I saw like, oh, Halo Infinite's free multiplayer. Awesome, I can actually play a game because I have no money because I'm a young person. Alright? So I could see how that, like, and just putting your all into Halo Infinite, I could see how that would make you say like, oh, Halo Infinite's the best game ever. It's the best Halo. Let's go. I could see that happening if you're younger. Or if I were young. Again. I'd be like, hey guys, this is so cool. You can customize your Spartan. You have all these Spartan cores. And look how amazing this forge is. And you can have theater mode. And you can... Green guy from Fortnite. They just tried copying all these other modern games and Halo Infinite and just failed at it. Like this live service stuff. And the sandbox and campaign. Again, like, I would prefer a linear campaign. Because they made... those seemed amazing because they're able to fit in all the action in those linear maps. But now they have the sandbox in Halo Infinite, and it's just like, you go to this base and take out all the people. Okay, I'll go to this place and take out the people. Okay, and then go to this place, and it's like, sometimes it gets just boring getting places or going places, and it's good that they later add the ability for you to like get banshees and then the other flying UNSC ship, so you can just fly to places. But still, it's like, sometimes you don't have that, so you just have to walk across the same foresty area. And I would prefer like a linear campaign that actually has action and interesting stuff in it, rather than, hey guys, look how big this map is and you can explore all the empty places you want. Like, okay, cool, great, awesome, thank you. Again, campaign was good in Halo Infinite. I am admitting that. It was kind of fun. Even though they had mistakes and it was missing some stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up. I go off topic so much, and it just I forgot to do that thing where I have a Word document and I just list the things I actually want to talk about. When I do that, I actually get through the subject. But if I just go off cuff like this and just start talking, it'll go for hours about Halo, and I don't want to. Okay, do I have anything else to say? No, the main point of this video is just like, yeah, I have a bias because I played the peak Bungie Halo games, so of course I'm going to think Halo Infinite is shit. So that's just a bias I have, and it's like a bunch of biases. It's like the survivorship bias too, where like I just remember like the good things from the past, you know? There's other biases, but those are like the main ones I'm bringing up now. And that's just why people like me think Halo Infinite is so horrible, because Halo used to be peak. That was the face of Xbox. It is the face of Xbox, but you're just ruining it now. And it's just sad to see. It feels so corporate now, and sometimes I think they just need to go crazy with it. That's the issue. They need to stop listening to the leadership positions, and or the leaders. They need to be like more creative or something. Just go all out with Halo if you're gonna make it this bad. I really want a spin-off now too, because like, and give making Halo or developing Halo to another studio other than 343. It's like too late now. Just make 343 do some small side stuff. I don't know, but I want to see a side game or like a spin-off game where Spartans are actually going all out, like the Spartan lore stuff, like an ability to actually sprint super fast and like do crazy stuff. That would be cool. If you're gonna ruin Halo this badly, like, might as well do that. And on the other hand, if you're gonna try to be more like Halo 1 or the previous Halos, the Bungie Halos, I think Halo Infinite was trying to get to that, like the gameplay. I don't know what they were doing, honestly, but that's what I can think of. They saw Halo 5 and people complaining like, oh, this is so crazy, you can do like all these abilities and stuff. This isn't cool, this isn't Halo. I want Halo to be like me running slowly in Halo 1 and just throwing grenades and having simple weapons. Or it's not simple weapons. It was still fun though. That's the thing. I don't understand how these old games are so much more fun than Halo Infinite. And again, the campaign in Halo Infinite wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Just the multiplayer is just something about it. The slip space engine, the gameplay is kind of okay. I'm gonna remove my bias again. The gameplay is kind of good in the multiplayer, but it's just something else in it that doesn't make it good. I explained in my previous video, like, it seems like the maps are too big or something. It makes you feel small. You don't know how to explain it. And like with all the other I'm pretty sure you could find a list of problems that people with more knowledge on the subject have on YouTube that are complaining about this Halo Infinite game. They have more valid or sound reasons that make sense. So go watch those people if you want like actual like arguments why Halo Infinite is not good. But yeah, the multiplayer, man. And so okay, so the other thing is just being older. Like, I don't have time to play as much of a game. Well, that's a lie, because I put in 100+ hours on Steam on Halo Infinite. Well, still, like, yeah, I'm wasting my time, essentially. I have things to do now. And I don't want to waste it on a mediocre game. When there's so many other games at the moment out that are much more fun. Like, Halo's not at the top anymore. I think it's like not even a top 20 list on Xbox. I know people saying like, oh, it's only on Steam where people are showing the numbers are low on Halo Infinite. But yeah, Halo Infinite isn't even on the top 20 Xbox games at the moment. And the Steam player base is like showing probably like 1,000 to 4,000 people playing. Like at any point in time. And the peak at the beginning was like 200,000. So from that to like 3,000 players. Yeah. That was bad. 3 for 3. You're done. I feel bad because, yeah, I admit it's hard work. They did put in a lot of hard work and lots of money into this, which is confusing why it's so bad still, like the multiplayer. But again, it is average. It's not bad, it's average. I keep saying bad, but that's my bias. It's just average. And it's free. So that's a good value for having an average game. But for us, it's just so disappointing because it could have been so much more, and the games we played in the past compared to this are amazing. My videos are too long. If you've listened to this thus far, I'm sorry. I hope this was entertaining or something for you, but I advise you to maybe just listen to maybe 10 minutes of what I'm saying and just close the video. Don't listen to my entire rant unless I have like a list on the side so you can read the list of what I'm about to say and then just exit out my video. But yeah, those are my thoughts on reconsidering that Halo Infinite is not actually a bad game. It's just average, but compared to all the things I've experienced in the games, it is bad. So, yeah. And Halo is always going to be the face of Xbox, but now I'm not so sure anymore. It's not even top 20 games right now on Xbox. And Xbox is pretty much dying at the same time too, honestly. Like, I don't think they're winning any console war. I think they're going to move to like this multi-platform stuff now. So it's kind of like you don't even need Master Chief anymore, honestly, if the Xbox consoles die. Like, who cares now? And it's like both of them are dying, the Xbox and Master Chief and Halo. And it's like, it's 343's fault because they're the ones that made these games. At the same time, like, I don't think it would be difficult for anyone to kind of match what Bungie did with their Halos. So I acknowledge the impossibility of the task that was given to 343, but at the same time, there's so many mistakes that were kind of, would have been obvious to anyone else. Like, yeah, you shouldn't do this to Halo, but they did anyways. It's like a bunch of small stuff like that that just adds up to like this mess of a game that everyone's hating on. And then there's defenders still for some reason, but yeah, I wish I could scan them and see what they actually know or what they've actually played, or if there's something wrong with them. I don't know, that they think like the Halo TV show is good or the Halo Infinite's good. Actually, it's like, you probably haven't seen a lot of stuff or played a lot of video games, have you? But again, it's my bias, the Mendicant bias. Trying to think anything else. So yeah, it's just me being old, honestly. We're old. Xbox is old, Master Chief is old, Halo is old. It's gonna be like a multi-platform thing now, I think. Halo, that's the only thing that could kind of save it, honestly, or actually making a good fucking game on it. I think the next Halo has to go crazy, or they have to kind of, I don't know, because they tried copying. I feel like, did they try copying? I don't know. I want to say like copy the Bungie game formulas and try to like kind of build off of that somehow. But I think that's a bad idea. 343 is doing it. So I don't know. The things I want, I'll probably make another video on this, but like, I really want to see a spin-off that just makes Spartans go crazy, like all the lore of the Spartans, make them like run super fast, make them do crazy shit. And then like the main Halo, if there's a Halo 7, I kind of want it to be, I want to return to a linear campaign, please. Please, no more sandbox. It was cool, but it's just like a novelty thing. Like, I prefer linear. It's more excitement in one space. It doesn't have to be some big space. That's not fun. Same with multiplayer. A lot of the 343 official maps are like too big. So it's like, yeah, it looks amazing and it's huge, but it's like boring to run around in. Especially when the sprint does shit. And like doing the G slide makes you go faster than the actual sprint. It's like, huh? Man. But yeah, I don't know. Any other thing? So yeah, my bias, I'm an older gamer. The stuff I've played before was like peak gaming when I was younger. Like Halo 2 was peak, Halo 3. So I experienced that in high school. So it would have been hard to even match that for 343 or even surpass it. And like when I was younger, things seemed more amazing maybe too. So that adds to the bias. What else? So yeah, I reconsidered and trying to take away my bias from my rating of Halo Infinite. So I think the campaign mode is, I'd say 7 or 8 out of 10. The campaign in Halo Infinite is good. The multiplayer, average 5 or 5 Yeah, 5 out of 10. It's just average, man. There's nothing like memorable or like that I want to go back and play in multiplayer. Except like the Forge stuff, but no one, unless I have like a group that wants to do something, or like I watch a streamer that invites people to like play a specific Forge map, that'd be cool, but it's still not as fun like playing with the Halo Infinite stuff. Alright, so that's my Mendicant's bias. And please bring back playable elites. Okay, bye.